Hey everyone, I've been running this channel for about 2 months now, so I thought I'd take this time to introduce myself for those that don't know me, tell you what this channel is about, why I started it, and where it may be going. So I was a child of the 70s, a teenager in the 80s. I've always loved toys. Started off with G.I. Joe Adventure Team, Mego World's Greatest Superheroes, Micronauts, Shogun Warriors, and Kenner's original Star Wars line. Between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, I sort of transitioned out of playing with toys and into collecting toys. I was all in on the big brands of the 80s, Thundercats, Masters of the Universe, and I was a Transformers completist. I had every single Generation 1 Transformer, as well as dozens of different GoBots, and I sampled just about every other line there was in the 80s. I had Mask, I had RoboForce, Star Wars, anything you can name of. I had at least 1 or 2 pieces from each of those lines. Into the 90s, when Beast Wars began, I decided to become a Transformers completist, and I continued with all the Beast Wars American and Japanese releases, into the Unicron trilogy, Robots in Disguise. I had about 1,100 Transformers at the peak of my collection. I've also always loved comic books. The Super Friends animated series, Adam West's Batman show, and the Spider-Man segments on the Electric Company were my gateway drugs into comic books. I started collecting comics in 1976, and I love all the classic superhero characters. Another thing I discovered during my childhood in the 70s were monster movies, especially giant monster movies, and especially the Japanese kaiju films. I would watch those films every Saturday afternoon on a program called Creature Double Feature, which was aired out of WLVI Channel 56, Boston, Massachusetts. And from those viewings came my lifelong love of Godzilla and all his kaiju companions. While I was heavily into Transformers in the late 90s and early 2000s, I joined the Transformers online community, several message boards, and that's where the name Gojitron came from. The Goji came from my love of Godzilla. That's part of his original Japanese name, Gojira. And I combined that with Tron, which was used many times in both Transformers and Micronauts, and you get Gojitron. Back in the late 90s and early 2000s, I started selling off my vintage collection, all my old Star Wars, Micronauts, Megos, etc. And into the mid-2000s, I eventually sold off all my Transformers for various reasons. Around, I believe, 2017, between 2017 and 2018, I decided I wanted to start a new collection. So rather than go back and try to reacquire all the vintage stuff that I sold off, which would have been impossible, I decided to go with modern toys that had that classic aesthetic or that represented the classic properties that I used to love. There is a video of my current collection that can be seen on the channel Chasing 80s Toys, so I will link to that in the description below. After I had established this new collection, I started an Instagram account a few years ago, and I've been posting at least once a day ever since. And I've been getting great responses to the photos of my toys that I post on there. From there, I became a member of the online toy community through all the YouTube channels that are out there. I've made a lot of friends in that community, and several of them have their own YouTube channels, and it looks like a lot of fun. So I decided to stick my toe in the YouTube water and start this channel. I simply call the channel Gojitron because the channel does not have any sort of specific focus, as in Star Wars or Marvel or Masters of the Universe or anything like that. My taste is very eclectic. I like a lot of different things, and the channel will reflect that. The toys you see in this frame are either toys that I've already made videos on and released, or I've already shot videos on them and they will be released. So as you can see, my channel is going to be like the proverbial box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Sometimes you'll get familiar stuff like G.I. Joe and Transformers and Motu. Other times you'll get toy lines you've never even heard of. Sometimes I'll talk about knockoffs or toy soldiers. And I plan on introducing comic books into my rotation as well. Part of my philosophy for making these videos is not to just present you with the toy, but maybe the history of the character behind the toy, or the history of the franchise, or my personal history with the character. Something just a little extra that goes beyond a toy review. On the technical side of things, this is a very bare bones operation. This background is just poster board. I have some very inexpensive lighting, a phone to film on, and a laptop to edit on, and that's it. In the future, I may get some different equipment, get a different camera. I definitely need to improve my lighting. But for now, I'm just going to stick with what I have, and we'll see how it goes. One change I did make early on was I started my first couple of videos with a white background, and on the advice of my buddy Sal from 2 Cents Toys, who told me the white was creating a banding effect, I switched to this darker blue background. So what I want to know from you guys, is this blue background working for you? It looks pretty good on my end. How does it look when you watch the videos? Also, how is the underlying music on all the videos working? I wanted to put something a little extra in the audio, besides me just droning on about something. So I've added music to all my tracks. I'm also working to improve the presentation. Early on, I struggled with keeping things in the center of the camera frame. I think I've improved a little bit on that. I also caught myself every time I went from one shot to another, starting off the shot by saying so. So here's his articulation, so here's his paint apps. I'm consciously trying not to do that right now. So as I go along, I'll try to improve things here and there to make the viewing experience better for you guys. Up until this point, I've tried to release videos twice a week, just to build up the inventory, if you will, on my channel, and just to get more views. At this point going forward, I'm only going to release one video a week because keeping up the 2-a-week schedule is going to be too much. So I will be releasing a new video every Wednesday of the week from this point forward. But that doesn't mean you'll get only one video a week from me. Every once in a while, I'll drop a video for a special occasion, which will be an extra video that week. For example, I plan on doing a special video for Easter this year, which I will drop on Easter Sunday. And that video will concern a certain green rabbit from outer space. And it's probably not the one you're thinking of. I also plan on releasing a video to tie in with Discovery Channel's Shark Week, because they make such a big deal about Shark Week every year. I'm just going to piggyback on that and do a shark video for that week. And you'll probably see me drop videos for Halloween, Christmas, and other special occasions like that throughout the year. As the inspiration hits me, I'll drop an extra video in certain weeks. As far as what you might see on this channel in the future, I have a list of about 60 different video ideas. based on things I have in my collection or things I plan on adding to the collection in the near future. So plenty of ideas, plenty of different videos coming your way. What you see in the frame here are just a few of the subjects you'll see in future videos. I also like to draw in my spare time. I like to draw different sort of cartoon mashup parodies, as well as little pinups based on classic monsters or classic toys, things like that. And I do post my artwork on my Instagram account every once in a while. I did draw the avatar that I use for my channel, and it is based on an old knockoff toy called the Daylung Master. It's an old Chinese Hong Kong knockoff that fuses together Godzilla and Generation 1 Grimlock. So the Daylung Master is probably the closest thing we have to an actual Gojitron toy. So I usually don't say, please subscribe on all my videos. I figure if you guys like what you see, you're going to subscribe anyway. But in this video, I'm going to drop it in. If you do like what you see and you want to support what I'm doing, I would really appreciate if you subscribed. So far, I've gotten 2 or 3 new subscribers every week since I've been doing this, and I very much appreciate it. So if you guys have any questions about me or my collection, please drop them in the comments below. If you have any suggestions about how I can make these videos better for your viewing pleasure, let me know that too. I usually don't like unsolicited advice, but in this video, I'll make an exception. If you guys have any ideas, throw them at me, and we'll see what we can do. So thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next video.